Since we're leaving today, could you move out? We'll take over the $473 monthly loan from now on. My daughter is coming back, so we won't be needing your help anymore. I understand, I replied quietly. From now on, please handle everything yourselves. For years, we had supported my in-laws without hesitation, yet in the end, they chose to trust their younger daughter over us without a second thought. As I stood in the entryway packing the last of my belongings, I turned back to them. "Oh, and one more thing," I said calmly. "There seems to be a misunderstanding about the monthly loan repayment." The color drained from their faces. "My name is Emily, I'm 35 years old and work in an office. I've been married to Tom for 3 years. We met through a mutual friend who insisted we were perfect for each other." She was right. From the moment Tom and I started talking, something clicked. Our conversations flowed effortlessly, and before long, we were inseparable. 2 years later, he proposed. I didn't hesitate to say yes. Both of our families supported the marriage, and we celebrated with a beautiful wedding surrounded by loved ones. After our honeymoon, we began our life together. We divided the housework naturally, and because Tom had lived alone for years, he was an excellent cook. Our days were peaceful, comfortable, and filled with quiet happiness. 3 years passed quickly, and our relationship felt just as strong as it had in the beginning. Then everything changed. Tom's father suddenly fell seriously ill. We rushed to the hospital, and after a tense week of tests and treatments, he was discharged. Although he had recovered, the fear of a relapse lingered. One evening, Tom spoke hesitantly. "What if we move in with my parents?" I had expected the suggestion. I worried about them too. When we brought it up, my mother-in-law looked surprised. "Live together? It wouldn't be a burden," I assured her gently. "We're worried about you both." They were deeply touched and, after some hesitation, agreed. Soon after, we moved into their home. Since Tom and I both worked full-time, my mother-in-law took over most of the household chores. My father-in-law, now retired, focused on resting and rebuilding his health. Gradually, he grew stronger. Life felt warm and harmonious. We truly felt like one family. Then one day, my father-in-law brought up an idea. "I've been thinking," he began. "What about building a new 2-family house?" Tom and I exchanged surprised glances. "This house feels cramped for 4 adults," my mother-in-law explained. "And if you have children in the future, it will be even smaller." "We're thinking long-term," my father-in-law continued. "A bigger home where we can all live comfortably for the rest of our lives. But we can't afford it alone. We would need to decide together." The idea shocked us at first. Still, when we considered the future, it made sense. The current house wasn't terrible, but it wasn't spacious either. If we were planning to spend decades together, comfort mattered. After discussing it privately, Tom and I agreed. Soon, the 4 of us were visiting real estate agencies. We wanted a barrier-free layout for my in-laws, extra rooms for future children, and a safe neighborhood close to hospitals, train stations, and grocery stores. The list of requirements grew longer by the day. Naturally, the cost would be high, but if this was going to be our forever home, we didn't want to compromise. Eventually, our dream house was completed. It was beautiful, inside and out. Just standing in front of it filled us with pride. "This is wonderful," my father-in-law said, smiling brightly. "I can't afford to get sick again. I want to stay healthy and live here as long as possible." Tom squeezed my hand. "When we have kids, I'll teach them to play catch in the yard. We'll have barbecues in the summer." I laughed. "Let's make a lifetime of memories here." Living there truly felt like reaching the height of happiness. The comfortable environment energized me. Even at work, everything seemed to fall into place. I felt grateful every single day. 2 years passed in the blink of an eye. Our relationship with my in-laws remained smooth, and I believed our peaceful days would continue forever. But in the house we thought would be our lifelong home, something unexpected happened. It began when my sister-in-law and her husband came to visit. "Wow, this house is amazing," she said, looking around with open envy. "It's not fair that only you get to live here." "What do you mean?" Tom replied. "We all discussed this together." She crossed her arms. "We're stuck in a cheap rental, and you're living like this. It feels like you're showing off." From that day on, whenever she visited, she made similar comments. There was always a hint of accusation in her voice. "We're paying a heavy mortgage every month," I told Tom afterward. "We're not living beyond our means. We work hard and pay for this house ourselves." She has no reason to complain. But deep down, I sensed her jealousy wasn't going to fade so easily. And I had no idea how much it would change everything. If we lived here with mom and dad, wouldn't that be so much fun? Fun? With what money? Can you even afford the mortgage on this house? Tom and I exchanged a quick glance. Kana probably hadn't thought before speaking. She rarely did, but her careless words planted something dangerous in my in-laws' hearts. It would be wonderful if Kana moved in, my mother-in-law said softly. Yes, my father-in-law added, it would make the house lively again. Wait a second, Tom cut in, what are you talking about? Haven't we been living together this whole time? Oh, don't be so serious, Kana laughed, I was just joking. That's right, my mother-in-law said quickly, no need to get upset. They tried to brush it off with awkward smiles, but I could see it clearly, the idea had tempted them. Kana had always been their favorite, for years younger than Tom, born when they were older, she had been doted on endlessly, she was beautiful, delicate, doll-like, and she knew it. That pampering had shaped her into someone who expected the world to revolve around her. Tom had warned me about her demanding nature long before we married. Ironically, after our wedding, she had behaved surprisingly well. For a while, I thought maybe she had matured. I was wrong. Lately, she had been coming to the house more often, usually during the day, when Tom and I were at work. Oh, Emily, you're back already? Then I'll head home. You can stay longer if you'd like. She smiled sweetly. No, I wouldn't want to inconvenience you. I don't feel inconvenienced. Maybe you say that, she replied lightly, but your eyes tell a different story. Unwanted guests should know when to leave. Bye, Mom, Dad. After she left, my in-laws would look visibly disappointed. They never said it out loud, but their expressions made it obvious, they wished she had stayed. Gradually, the atmosphere in the house began to change. After work, I retreated to our room. When Tom came home, we joined everyone for dinner. The conversation grew shorter each night, the silences grew longer, even Tom began to sense that something was wrong. And then, one holiday, everything exploded. Tom and I had gone shopping in the morning. When we returned, there were unfamiliar shoes at the entrance. We looked at each other. Before we could speak, my mother-in-law appeared. You're back, we need to talk. Her tone was cold. In the living room sat Kana and her husband, looking far too comfortable. Oh, you're finally here, Kana said cheerfully. What's going on? Tom asked. Starting today, we're moving in, so you two can leave. What? Tom stared at her. I couldn't even process what she'd just said. Don't be ridiculous, he snapped. You can't just decide to move in today. It's not sudden, she replied smugly. We'd been discussing it with Mom and Dad for a while. Tom turned slowly. Is that true? My father-in-law avoided his gaze. Kana and her husband said they'll take care of us from now on, my mother-in-law said. I'll handle the housework, Kana added sweetly, and I'll take care of you when you're older. You can rely on us. If our daughter is here, my mother-in-law continued, we don't need you anymore. A daughter-in-law who doesn't do housework and hasn't given us grandchildren can't compare to Kana. Her words cut deep. Kana smirked when she saw my expression. We'll even pay the $473 monthly loan, she said confidently. That's a bargain for living in a house like this. 473? I repeated. Yes, Dad told us that's the mortgage. Tom and I were speechless. They had already decided to replace us. Fine, Tom said quietly, we'll leave, but we need 1 week to find a place. That's fine, Kana replied lightly. As we packed that week, they could barely hide their excitement. Now we can finally live together peacefully. It'll be like a dream. Good riddance. They insulted us until the very end. The day we left, I stood in the entryway with our final suitcase. Please take care of everything from now on, I said calmly. And don't come back, my mother-in-law replied coldly. For years we had supported them, yet they discarded us without hesitation. Kana beamed. From now on, this house is ours. I paused before stepping out. Oh, by the way, I said casually, there seems to be a misunderstanding about the mortgage. They froze. It's not $473 a month, it's $1,825. Silence. What? My father-in-law whispered. Tom spoke evenly. The house is in Dad's name, so the loan is automatically debited from his account. Emily and I transferred the money every month. I sent $473, Tom added. Emily transferred $1,352. I suppose you only remembered the smaller number, I said softly. You never checked the total. Their faces drained of color. We can't pay $1,825, Kana shrieked. That's impossible. How were you paying that much? My mother-in-law demanded. I met her eyes calmly. I'm a department head at a major corporation. I earn quite well. Emily makes more than I do, Tom added. The room descended into chaos. You can't leave us with this. You said you'd take care of them, Tom replied coldly, so do it. No, wait, my mother-in-law cried. Let's go back to how things were. Kana turned on them immediately. What, you're choosing them over us now? You can pay it, can't you? So you should live with the ones who can afford you. That's not fair, she shouted. Dad said it was only $473. We already gave up our rental. That's your problem, Tom said flatly. Didn't you say family mattered more than money? Their argument grew louder and uglier by the second. I didn't feel anger anymore, only clarity. Well, I said quietly, we're leaving. And this time, we meant it. We cut off contact completely. Later, we heard through neighbors that they couldn't keep up with the payments. Even after using my father-in-law's retirement funds, debt remained. Eventually, they were forced to sell the house. Now they live in a small, cheap apartment. Everyone works, full-time and part-time, to repay what they owe. Kana's husband, unwilling to shoulder the burden, reportedly disappeared. As for us? Our rented apartment is small, but peaceful. Without the heavy mortgage and household expenses, our savings have grown faster than we expected. We live comfortably, occasionally indulging ourselves, and quietly building a secure future. If they had valued loyalty over favoritism, things might have been different. But that chapter of our lives is closed. And we are happier for it.